Sorry, I was having tons of trouble scheduling the stream. I had to push it 10 minutes in advance, but yeah, we're here. I'll flip you around. Unfortunately, here there's no high spot for me to film from. Here's a bunch more people showing up. It's kind of hard for me to get a good vantage point of everyone. I'm not sure where they're going to speak from, but as soon as people start speaking, I'll try and find a good spot. This is Salmon Street Springs at Waterfront Park, 74 Beaver. We were down at I.C.E. like 30 minutes ago and got word that this was going on here. So we're going to cover this, and we'll probably head back down to I.C.E. after that for an hour or two, and then I'll take a break and be back down at 7 until probably pretty late tonight. It's hard for me to estimate crowd size at a place like this, but I'm guessing 1,000 maybe. Get a job. Are you at work right now, Austin, on a Sunday? I.C.E. will be very busy tonight, I'm sure, 74 Beaver. I mean, I can't predict the future, but I would be very shocked if there wasn't at least like 500 to 1,000 people, would be my guess. But I've been wrong before, so. Do we have any mods or any members in chat? Hey, Catherine. Hi, Collier.
Ice out of Portland!
Okay, they're on here.
Out of Portland! Ice out of Portland! Ice out of Portland! Ice out of Portland! The people united will never be defeated! 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 Thank you for coming out, everybody. Please come in closer and get close to the speaker and everything. Just a real quick thing before I get into my introduction. We have a slate of speakers set to speak today, but just a quick thing for safety. We have people in orange vests all around us. They're just here to make sure that everything goes smoothly, so you can keep your attention here and keep your energy on saying, "Ice out of Portland!" Ice out of Portland! So please, if you see anything, find some or anybody else in a shirt or anything like that, that's anything and they can help you out. With that, I just want to give a quick political introduction. We're over a year into the Trump administration's open war on working people. ICE and Border Patrol are shooting and murdering their way through our neighborhoods. The facade of American diplomacy and international law is in tatters, and all the rights won by oppressed people through militant struggle are being stripped away. Portland, are you okay with this? No! Are you okay with this? No! Are we going to accept this as the new normal? No! Trump's actions and those of his administration have brought us to the point where working class people need to take action and stop this menace. It is no surprise that our elected officials have abandoned us on this front. Even less of a surprise is the spineless Democrats who continue to capitulate to Trump. Just recently, the House passed a new spending bill which includes approximately $3.4 billion for ICE. $3.4 billion are going to go to a murdering machine instead of the people's needs. And this bill was passed and pushed through by 7 Democrats who voted yes on it. Shame! It is clear that our elected officials have failed us. Those not openly collaborating with Trump, with the Trump regime, those who are not openly collaborating with the Trump regime only offer tepid resistance. They both lack the political will and moral courage to mount meaningful opposition. It is up to us, the workers of this country, to organize ourselves into an effective mass movement and put a stop to this madness. This administration wants to keep us confused and afraid to act. They want us to stay home, to despair, to disengage as they murder our families and neighbors, invade sovereign nations, and threaten global war. Are we going to accept this? We're not going to accept this. I feel anger, I feel grief, but I don't feel hopeless. Do you feel hopeless? Do you feel hopeless? I don't feel hopeless because I look at all of you in the crowd today. I see people who are fighting and standing up to this regime. We have the numbers, and our numbers will continue to grow. We'll continue to educate ourselves, we'll continue to get organized, and we'll continue to build our collective courage and resilience. We'll strike, we'll withhold our labor, and we'll keep resisting till the end. We will keep resisting until we stop this man in his tracks. The future belongs to us. ICE out of Portland! ICE out of Portland! ICE out of Portland! Okay, so again, we have a great program of speakers today. So first, I want to welcome Jamie, who is a union organizer and a member of the Party for Socialism and Liberation, who just returned from Minneapolis. So everybody, please welcome up Jamie. The people united will never be defeated!
The people united will never be defeated!
El pueblo unido jamás será vencido!
El pueblo unido jamás será vencido!
Last night, I got on a plane home from Minneapolis with a vision of coming here and giving a victorious speech about the first general strike in 80 years. But my friends, I don't get to do that. Because yesterday, ICE agents brutally beat and executed Alex Preddy. Yet even in this moment of profound grief, maybe especially in this moment, I stand before you with something powerful to share. This week I had the privilege of being sent by my union to support the build-up to a general strike in Minnesota, and what I witnessed there changed me. The energy in Minnesota was electric. From the moment I stepped off the plane last Tuesday, all people wanted to talk about was ICE and the work that they were personally doing to stop them. People were angry, people were tired, they were scared for their families and for their neighbors, but they refused to let those feelings stop them. When ICE murdered their neighbor, Renee Good, were they deterred? No! That's right. They transformed their grief into action. They called for a general strike. So today, I come to you with a message of hope. The groundwork was set long before I set foot in Minneapolis. Over a year ago, visionary leaders from unions, faith organizations, political organizations, identity groups, and mass organization groups like 5051 came together and asked one question: what will we do when Trump attacks our communities? They didn't wait for tragedy to strike. They prepared, they organized, and they built the foundation on which this general strike was built.
That's right!
The murder of Renee Good may have been a catalyst, but the people were already ready.
Yeah.
All week, the people of Minneapolis said defiantly that ICE had made the classic Nazi mistake, invading a winter people in winter. And on the coldest day of the year, something extraordinary happened. Hundreds of thousands of workers across Minnesota did not go to work, did not go to school, did not buy anything. Instead, they poured into the streets. They poured into the streets, and they had a general strike. They demanded an end to ICE's reign of terror. What struck me most was the unity across the city because of the tireless work of unions, faith groups, and political organizations. People were on the same page. Instead of being frozen by fear, they had something to build toward. The general strike became their North Star. If I may, I'd like to share some of the things that I saw. Stories that prove that we are stronger than we know, that I hope will set you on fire the way they've set me on fire these past 2 days. On Tuesday afternoon, we assisted a group called Unidos in approaching small business owners to urge them to close their stores on Friday. By this point, over 150 businesses had already committed to closing, and every business had already been approached multiple times. At a storefront that was part of a small local chain, workers told us something inspiring. They had organized a store and demanded that their bosses close their location on Friday. And when they were told in no uncertain terms that their location would not be closing, they did not give up. They reached out to workers at nearby locations and began organizing as a group. On Friday, every single location of that chain was closed. That is the power that workers have when we stand together. Groups like PSL, Unidos in the Twin Cities returned to these stores every single day to urge business owners to close their storefronts. That, combined with pressure from employees, turned the tide. By Friday, nearly 1,000 businesses closed their doors. 1,000 businesses. Unions poured their hearts into making this happen. The teachers union organized a mass call out that shut public schools down. The largest service workers union called and texted nearly all of its members, urging them to take a sick day and march in the streets with us on Friday. Over 100 members of this union had been waking up early every single day to drive their immigrant neighbors to work because they were too scared to drive themselves.
Hello, Ania.
On Friday, thousands of workers from that union called off work and joined us in the streets of Minneapolis. Healthcare workers who could not strike, risking legal repercussions, refused to be sidelined. They adjusted their strategy and picketed in front of their hospitals at 6 a.m. in negative 33-degree weather, demanding their employers ban ICE off their properties. Imagine that courage! On Wednesday, one union found an old phone list for corporate employees at some of Minnesota's largest companies. Over 50 organizers called and urged people to call off work. And over 55% of people called agreed to take a sick day. I spoke to a mother who worked at United Health Group who told me that all of the people in her 30-person department planned to call in sick. When I asked her if she would come and march with us, she said her whole family would make the hour drive to be there for her immigrant neighbors. That is what solidarity looks like. The morning of Friday's march, in between actions, I spoke to a group of people at a warming center who worried about turnout because of the weather. One of them feared that even if turnout was good, a general strike wouldn't change anything. But over 100,000 people proved those doubts wrong. When they put on their snow gear and marched a mile in sub-zero they showed us what's possible when people believe in something greater than themselves. So let's be clear, my friends. The execution of Alex Preddy on camera in broad daylight when officers held a legal bystander down, beat him, and shot him 10 times. The execution of Alex Preddy does not prove that Friday was a failure. It does not signal that it's time to stop resisting. Alex Preddy was executed because those ICE officers were cowards who felt powerless in the face of the organized working people. Because when hundreds of thousands of people march in the streets, there is no power repressive enough to stop us. But don't be fooled into thinking it would be easy. Those people did not simply appear on the streets on Friday. It took mass organization. They showed up because their pastors, their rabbis, their imams urged them to go march. Because their unions called them and urged them to go march. Because 5051, the Women's March, and Indivisible sent mass communications urging them to march. Because PSL and other political organizations hit the streets and urged them to march. It was the collective work of these organizations, working in tandem despite our differences, that shut down the state of Minnesota! Every leader I worked with at every organization made one thing clear. This isn't a question of if, it's a question of when. Every one of them urged us to start laying the groundwork right now. ICE is already here. ICE is already terrorizing our communities. So the question isn't whether we need to start building for a general strike, but how long do we have? When the time comes, I know that we will be ready to have a general strike here in Portland. But it won't happen spontaneously. It will take all of us, every single one of us in this crowd. Now is not the time to let your fear, your anger, and your grief hold you in inaction. Let that fire drive you to take a stand. Now is not the time for excuses. Our communities are under attack right now.
That's right.
Now is the time to join an organization. We've seen the power that working people have when we're organized. Now is not the time to debate. Now is the time to organize. Alex Preddy's life mattered. Renee Good's life mattered. Silverio Villegas' life mattered. And we honor them, not with silence, but with action. The people of Minnesota showed us the way. Now it's our turn. It is our duty. It is our right. Strike, 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 strike. It is our duty. It is our right. Strike.
Strike, strike, strike.
It is our duty. It is our right.
Strike, 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 strike.
It is our duty. It is our right.
Strike, 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 strike.
When immigrant rights are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When immigrant rights are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When immigrant rights are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
No justice, no peace. No ICE or police. No justice, no peace.
No ICE or police.
No justice, no peace.
No ICE or police.
No justice, no peace.
No ICE or police.
Our next speaker up is Mike Reiser, a veteran organizer and a member of About Face Veterans Against the War.
Anna Minham or Cam, do either
Thank
of
you.
want to mod
I
today?
don't really have a lot to say. I just, we know that Alex Preddy was a VA nurse. And I've been a patient at the VA for about 20 years now. And I just wanted to say what it means for someone to be a medical worker at the VA. You don't do it because it pays the most in the profession. You don't do it because it has the best facilities. You don't do it because it's a common, easy job. There's quite a lot of chaos at the VA. You do it out of a sense of service. You do it out of a sense of wanting to serve a community that is underserved, that's underprivileged, people who have had hard lives, people who have suffered. That's the kind of person we know Alex Preddy was. To do that job, to go into work every day, to care for people he didn't know because he felt it was the right thing to do. That's what he was doing out at the ICE demonstrations as well. He may not have known anyone who was in danger of being deported. He knew it was dangerous to be out there. He knew he was putting himself at risk. He did it because it was the right thing to do. Not just following and filming the fascists who are doing just unspeakable horrors day after day after day, but in his final moments was defending a woman from being attacked and putting his body between her and the thugs that were trying to beat her up. His last words were, "Are you okay?" to that woman. He was a hero until his last breath. Alex Preddy. And the same goes for Renee Good. You know, she didn't have to be there. She saw something was wrong and she was standing up to what was wrong.
That's right.
Yeah.
Both of them are heroes, and you know, I've been thinking a lot about how both of them were close to my age. You know, they're both 37. They're both almost 40. And thinking about what people our age, our generation, has watched happen over the course of our adult lives. You know, we've became adults when there was war based on lies, where the people who lied just got rich, nothing bad happened to them, a bunch of companies got rich off it. We had foreclosure crisis and student debt crisis, where nobody gets punished but the banks get bailed out. The people who lose their homes through no fault of their own, where were they? We've seen not just financial crisis, but a world where the oil companies are destroying our planet and there's nothing we can do about it, nothing to hold them accountable. We've seen a racist murder from cops, from vigilantes, where there's no accountability. I feel like trying to put myself in the minds of Nicole Good and Alex Preddy and going out there and standing up for what was right is because we have seen over the course of our entire adult lives injustice after injustice and outrage after outrage, and we are done. I am done. I know that you are done. The hundreds of thousands of people who came out, many of them for the first time in their lives in Minneapolis, they are done. We are fed up. We're not going back. We are going to defeat ICE and beat them back. Trump is going to fail. This MAGA movement, this minority movement of fascists, of racists, of extremists, they are going to fail. They are going to be defeated. But we are not done when that is accomplished. We are going to keep going. We are going to work together to build a country that all of us can be proud to live in, not the one we've had to grow up in the past 40 years. I says get back. We say fight back. I says get back.
We say fight back.
I says get back.
We say fight back.
Trump says get back.
We say fight back.
Miller says get back.
We say fight back.
I says get back.
We say fight back.
Trump says get back.
We say fight back.
I says get back.
We say fight back.
Trump says get back.
We say fight back.
I says get back.
We say fight back.
Trump says get back.
We say fight back.
I says get back.
We say fight back.
Those fascists say get back.
We say fight back.
They say get back.
We say fight back.
They say get back.
We say fight back.
They get back.
We say fight back.
Fight back.
From Palestine to Mexico, border walls have got to go. From Palestine to Mexico.
Border walls have got to go.
From Palestine to Mexico.
Border walls have got to go.
From Palestine to Mexico.
Border walls have got to go.
No ban, no wall. Sanctuary for all. No ban, no wall.
Sanctuary for all.
No ban, no wall, sanctuary for all. No ban, no wall, sanctuary for all. Next up, we have Clem, who's a fellow healthcare worker and an organizer in Portland. Clem will be speaking about Alex Peretti, a nurse who was viciously shot and killed by ICE yesterday morning.
Yesterday, another community member was murdered in cold blood by federal agents. His name was Alex Peretti, an ICU nurse focused on serving veterans in critical care. A career dedicated to not just the community, but those so often forgotten by the system after returning home from the endless violence abroad in the name of imperialism. Video footage spread showing federal agents in South Minneapolis wrestling him to the ground, pinning him on the sidewalk, and shooting him multiple times while he was restrained and fully surrounded by officers. This comes from the same city where we saw just 2 weeks ago Renee Good murdered in cold blood in her car by federal agents. The same city where Chong Lee Scott Thao, a U.S. citizen, was dragged out in his underwear by federal agents with no warrant and freezing temperatures. As a healthcare worker myself, I am angry. Angry for the murder of my fellow worker, for upholding the values of medicine. Working in healthcare means care for all and compassion for all. I am angry. The oath of integrity we all take is the very reason he was murdered in the street. Murdered for helping someone shoved to the ground by the same federal agents who would take their unchecked violence out on him. I am angry his patients won't see him again, won't experience the care of him again. I am angry they murdered a person who didn't just hold their values at work, but took them to the streets. I am angry the government's response has been more lies, more money, and more excuses. Friday, a historical general strike took place in Minneapolis in response to all the countless violent acts in the Twin Cities and across the nation. The entire country was captivated at all the images of massive unity and resistance. Hundreds of thousands took to the streets and answered the call, showing up in solidarity, a reminder of the power that we hold.
That's right.
Minneapolis shut down the city, and the next day, federal agents answered with yet another murder. Are we gonna stand for this? Are we gonna stand for this? The escalation of ICE does not end with the murder of Alex Peretti. This violence does not end with a vote or reform. And ICE does not start with Trump, but was started 22 years ago, expanded under all previous administrations, Democrats and Republicans alike. It ends when we remind the ruling class on who holds the power. And who holds the power?
We do!
And who holds the power?
We do!
This is why the call for a nationwide general strike is stronger than ever. A strike to shut down the very system that enacts violence against anyone who dares to stand up. Anyone who dares to say no more. This is only possible together. Join an org like the Party of Socialism and Liberation here today. Talk to your union, talk to your coworkers, and get ready. The time is now to strengthen the movement together, mobilize, and shut all cities down. No justice, no peace. ICE off our streets. No justice, no peace. ICE off our streets. No justice, no peace. ICE off our streets.
Up with liberation, down with deportation. Up with liberation,
Down with deportation!
up with liberation.
Down with deportation!
Up with liberation.
Down with deportation!
No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No hate, no fear.
Immigrants are welcome here!
No hate, no fear.
Immigrants are welcome here!
No hate, no fear.
Immigrants are welcome here!
Next up, we have Nina, a member of the Federal Unionist Network and a social worker at the VA.
She is here to talk about how federal employees are fighting back against ICE and Trump.
Hello. My name's Nina. I'm here from, I am a VA employee, but I'm not speaking on behalf of the VA. We all take an oath to the Constitution as federal employees. And closer? Yeah. Even closer? Yeah. Okay. All right. So, yeah. Anyways, sorry. Federal employees take an oath to the Constitution. We take an oath to serve the Constitution and serve the American people. One of those things is that I'm not supposed to be able to say anything political as a representative of my agency, which I am not. But it's a little infuriating that is supposed to be the way it is, and I would certainly have repercussions if I did. While we have other federal employees out on the streets gunning people down. They don't even have to follow basic laws. They are supposed to take the same oath to the same Constitution, and they are not following that. They are destroying everything that we stand for. The fact that that Alex Preddy was a VA nurse. We all work at the VA for a reason, and we serve veterans that served for us, that went into the wars. They are the ones that came back with the scars and the pain of those wars. And we are there to take care of them. Like, I'm there for them. Alex Preddy was there for them. And to see him experience such a horrific thing is heartbreaking. And I'm so thankful for all of you. I'm thankful for everybody coming out. I'm thankful for Alex. I'm thankful for Renee Good. I'm thankful for everybody that's fighting back. Federal employees are with you, and we are also fighting back. A general strike is where our power is. The Trump administration has canceled our collective bargaining agreements. We no longer have union representation. And he won't stop with us. He's doing it here first, and then he's coming for everybody else's unions.
That's right.
But he can't do that if we fight back. So thank you so much, everyone, and thank you for having us, thank you for coming out, and thank you for fighting.
Biggest threat in the world today, Donald Trump in the USA! Biggest threat in the world today,
Donald Trump in the USA!
biggest threat in the world today,
Donald Trump in the USA!
biggest threat in the world today,
Donald Trump in the USA!
brick by brick, wall by wall, this racist system has to fall. Brick by brick, wall by wall,
This racist system has to fall!
brick by brick, wall by wall.
This racist system has to fall!
So after these next two speakers, be sure to stick around. We are having a march after the next two speakers. Next up is Dan with Veterans for Peace.
I appreciate you trying to give me a hand. I am getting pretty old. This has been very difficult for me on many ways because I'm a Vietnam veteran, and I'm a patient at the VA hospital, and I've been watching the Trump administration defund it, stop it, people being rehired. They're trying to privatize it, just like because of tearing up the contract, the union contracts there. It's just the beginning of union busting all across this country. You heard Mike Preisner speak. He's another veteran who is in Iraq. He's been a great speaker coming out on all of these issues. But you know, people put us up as warriors and speakers, but you know what? You're the warriors. The people coming out of Minnesota, Renee Good, Alex Pretty, they are the warriors. I was sitting in the living room watching television. My wife was in the kitchen and she was cooking something, and she looked out the window and she said, "Dan, you got to come here real quick." I said, "Why? Why?" I went up and looked out the window, and there was ICE had just captured a woman who was drove up across the street from us. On one house is Mexican family. On the other side of across from my house is somebody from El Salvador. Our neighborhood is very, very diverse. And so when I see somebody come by and then there's ICE, these guys come out with no identification on. One person had police. They stopped this woman's car. They surrounded her and they held her there. I came out of the garage with my camera and started filming them because I wanted to be sure we knew what the evidence was. So it's up to us. When we see something happen, get out, film, make sure you know what's out there. That is what Alex was doing. That's what Renee was doing. You know, this didn't start just here. I mean, I was part of the sanctuary movement in the 1980s. I took in refugees into my home from El Salvador and Guatemala. You just saw this country invade Venezuela and kidnap their president. In 2006, I visited Venezuela, and they had a revolution by Hugo Chavez that the people fell in love with. In 2019, I visited again Venezuela with Maduro. And at that time, our government was saying that there was an uprising and they were going to throw him out of the country. Attempted coups. The right wing called for demonstrations. We went to those demonstrations. Nobody showed. Well, one they did. They showed about 30 people showed up. I went to a demonstration for Maduro. 100,000, for as far as your eyes could see, were out there supporting the revolution. So whether it's wars, whether it's ICE attacking our people here, the war has come home to our streets. That's why I say no war, no ICE, no KKK, no fascist USA. No ICE, no KKK, no fascist USA.
No ICE! No KKK! No fascist USA!
No ICE, no KKK, no fascist USA.
No ICE! No KKK! No fascist USA!
You know, I didn't know what I was going to say because I just was going to announce a couple of things. But coming up here shortly on Tuesday, January 27th, since we're talking about the VA and veterans, Indivisible is going to do a protest up on, right as you come out of the VA on Military Hill. Excuse me, it's starting to go. You're going to come out of on Military Hill, and so they're going to be protesting as it's actually going to be a vigil for Alex Jeffrey Pretty. And since he worked at the VA, this is very appropriate. As many people as you can, come out, try to do something. Let's fill that whole street up. Let's not let the VA know that we support the workers that are working there and we want their union back. On January 31st, resist U.S.-led war and imperialism, is going to hold an event at on a panel on Venezuela on January 31st at 1 p.m. at the Central Library here in Portland. I will be I'll be a speaker there since I went to Venezuela, but there'll be a number of people there speaking. And then on February 7th, 5051 No Kings is holding an event at Benson High School. It's an educational forum teaching our young people, and we're calling many people out. There'll be a number of organizations, labor, various organizations, PSL, and Veterans for Peace. We're all going to be there, and we want you to show up too, because we need to all come together to demand a general strike in this state. So when we're under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
Thank you.
Power to the people! No one is illegal! Power to the people! No one is illegal! Power to the people!
No one is illegal!
Power to the people!
No one is illegal!
Power to the people!
No one is illegal!
Now, our last speaker, Kevin, an organizer with the Party for Socialism and Liberation. He is going to be talking about his experience as a child of immigrants and how ICE's reign of terror is affecting our immigrant community.
No ICE, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No ICE, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No fear. Immigrants are welcome here. My name is Kevin Orellana. I am here with the PSL, and I come to you as a fellow Oregonian, worker, and most importantly, human being who is enraged with this terror campaign that has been going on in our so-called democracy. ICE's invasion of Minneapolis is a part of a racist campaign directed by the highest levels of Trump's administration targeting immigrants in our neighborhoods. The violence that I've carried out is emblematic of the brutality that ICE and other federal police inflict on our communities every day. Murders like the killing of Keith Porter, Renee Good, and Alex Preddy are an inevitable part of the massive crackdown the Trump administration has unleashed across our country. We demand an end to mass deportations. We demand an end to the deployment of ICE in our cities. We demand it now. My mother immigrated here from El Salvador back in the 80s, running away from a U.S.-backed civil war. My mom watched her life get uprooted, her people get massacred by right-wing death squads armed and trained by the U.S. Never could she have imagined that the evolution of imperialism, capitalism's death spiral into fascism, would mean that these right-wing death squads would undergo a PR rebrand and later terrorize her children as ICE thugs. To quote Michael Parenti, a hero who passed away yesterday, but who will live on in the hearts and the minds of many, revolutions are not push-button affairs. Rather, they evolve only if there exists a reservoir of hope and grievance that can be galvanized into popular action. The real danger we face is not terrorism, but what is being done under the pretext of fighting it. They now label us terrorists for having the humanity to stand up against these repressive state powers and enforcers. Having humanity and compassion earns us the label as terrorists. But let us ask ourselves, who are the real terrorists? Who are the ones kidnapping heads of state and of sovereign states for oil? Who are the ones using 5-year-olds as bait to arrest their family without due process and to ship them to concentration camps across the country? Who are the ones taking our tax dollars to fund wars and genocide that the majority of us oppose? They are the real terrorists, and they want us to be too afraid to fight back. But I am here to let you know that although I fear for my life and the safety of my family, that I will not be silenced. As Fred Hampton said, you can kill a revolutionary, but you can't kill a revolution! Only an expression of people's power on a historic scale can push back a ruling class offensive of this magnitude. We need a general strike! A general strike is when workers of all types walk off the job. People boycott shopping, school, and massive mobilizations take place. A general strike shows in ways that it's impossible to ignore that workers make this country run. And if we withhold our labor, then nothing functions. Minneapolis has shown us the way. Thank you for your participation and solidarity.
I out of Portland!
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 Thank you to all of our amazing speakers and to all of you for being here today. We built this amazing energy, so we're going to march. Are you ready? All right, for this march, we're going to line up on Nido there, and then we are going to go across the bridge.
No justice, no peace! No justice, no peace! No justice, no peace! No justice, no peace! No ICE or police! No justice, no peace! No ICE or police! No justice, no peace! No ICE or police!
Sure, don't try.
So we're going to be marching down Taylor, we're going down Taylor to Madison and across the
Our streets! Our streets! Our streets! Our streets!
Flower Seeker, you're absolutely killing it today. We had like over 300 concurrent. Usually on a regular channel, you want one moderator for every 100 viewers. On a political stream like this, you want way more than that. You did the whole thing by yourself. Everyone, let's hear it for Flower Seeker. She's doing an incredible job today. This is her first day modding, and She is absolutely killing it.
Our street.
I don't know how many people this is, but it's a whole hell of a lot. Yeah, there's no way I could have caught up with all that Flower Seeker. You saved the chat today. It would have been nasty if you weren't in here. Probably a lot of people would have left because people just don't want to see all that garbage. I wish I knew where the protest was going and could head it off, but I don't think I'm going to do the march. I'm already going to be on my feet all day today. What time is it anyway? It's 4 o'clock. I think I'm going to head home and take a break for a couple hours, and I'll be down at I.C.E. I have a bunch of other stuff to do. I basically woke up at the crack of noon, took care of, I had tons and tons of messages today, all sorts of other stuff, and then didn't even get through all that, and immediately ran down to I.C.E., heard about this, ran over here. So yeah, I'm gonna head back to the car, take a short break. I'll probably be down at I.C.E. I want to go down to I.C.E. at 6, but I also want to stay till at least 11, so we'll see. You guys will just have to stay tuned to see when I'm on next. I'll be down this evening for sure, once or twice. I'll be down there as much of the day as I can. If you're not subscribed and you want to catch more coverage, I'm going to be covering this absolutely as much as possible. I normally cover I.C.E. 6 days a week, starting at 7 o'clock at night, usually until 10. So be sure to subscribe if you wanna catch more of this content. Thank you again, Flower Seeker, so much. You did the job of 4 or 5 mods through this. You are absolutely amazing. Talk to Bree tonight if you want to keep on modding. She can kind of run you through the basics. and get you going. I was super impressed. Thank you guys all for coming out, and just another reminder that these cost me money. I'm going to be paying a ton in parking and just gas running around. It's not a lot, but I do have expenses, and you know, I spend like 20 hours a week doing this, sometimes more. I have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/PretendMedia. It's $5 a month. If you want to support me, that's probably the best way. I also have a Cash App and a Venmo. It's PretendMedia. Both of them are PretendMedia, all one word. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you later today. Bye.